Scottie the Body Williams. I cannot believe my eyes. I'm looking at Facebook, and I haven't seen this post. It came up on September 6th this year. And I saw this trophy, and it looked familiar to me. And I thought, wow, that looks familiar to me. And then I started reading about it, and it's like, wow, yeah, that's the trophy that it looked familiar to me about. And it was a post about the pizza eating contest at Mazzio's in St. Joe, Missouri in 1984. You're just saying now that my victory was, that I was in violation of the vomiting rule. And I don't know where this is coming from. It's 31 years ago, man, and I did not vomit. You know, you were sitting right across from me the whole time because I remember the showdown. I'll remember this thing forever. It was like the highlight of my life. I had, and it kind of still is. I love pizza. It was a pizza eating contest. It was broadcast live on the radio, and I'm kind of a ham about stuff like that. And it was a packed place, and it was competitive, and the drama at the end. And I remember the way that it worked out was the two local disc jockeys at some radio station started getting into argument about who could eat more pizza, one guy or the other guy. And then one of them said, not only can I eat more than you, but I could eat more pizza than anybody on this local football team, this local college team. It was the Missouri Western in St. Joe, Missouri. So they call the sports information director. I think it was Paul Sweetcall. And Paul, I guess, gets behind it with the coach, and they do, Coach Hicklin, God rest him, they do this vote with the team of who the top 6 eaters are, because it was going to be 6 of the top eaters against these 2 DJs. And of course, you and I, we made the cut. So there we were, and it was a packed house. There was, and I trained at Valentino's, on there up like 36th Street, I think, or wherever the heck it was. But whatever the case, I was ready, and I wasn't going to be denied victory. And it was kind of a grueling contest, and I still can't believe they made us do it. But it was how many mini combos from Mazzio's that you could consume in 1 hour. And just a 1 hour race. I would have preferred something more like a sprint. But there was a no vomiting rule. They laid that out very clear in the upfront. And I knew from the experience when I was younger, when everybody would say, stop eating so fast, slow down, slow down, slow down. The hunger will go away. Just give it time. It takes 20 minutes for you to realize you're hungry. And I just don't know why people were pacing themselves, because that was really ingrained in me that that's what you do if you want to consume a lot of food. So I fired down 6 mini combos in that first half hour. And then I was barely able to choke down 2 in the second half hour. And you and I were right across from each other, and we were neck and neck, literally. And so I had the last piece of my 8th pizza in my mouth. Because every time toward the end, when you chew, if you tried to swallow, it was unstable. It could have just brought everything up like Mount Vesuvius. So we were just being really gingerly in terms of how we tried to swallow it. And then it was just slow going. It was slow going. It was painful. And I remember having the urge to vomit, but I didn't do it. I wasn't going to do it. So you were not finished with your eighth pizza. You had a bite of your 8th pizza in your mouth, and you had the last piece of it in your hand. Okay? And I had my last piece of my 8th pizza in my hand, but I had it in my mouth. And I was just looking at you. Because what you were going to have to do was you're going to have to swallow what was in your mouth and then eat a whole nother piece. All I would have to do was just chew that thing up and swallow it, and I'd have it done. And then I'd have a 9th I'd have in my hand right behind it, so that if I needed to take a bite out of it, that I could. I was very confident that I'd be able to pull it off. And you looked so defeated. You were sitting right across from me, and you just looked like a whoop dog. I would probably look like that too, because that was just tough. We look like Balboa and Apollo Creed. But so the guy, he says 10, 9, and suddenly you got this resurgence, like this reawakening, and you went, your eyes got really big, like I could hear the rocket music then. And then you jam that last piece or the 8th piece in your mouth and you're chewing it up. And then so I went ahead and started chewing what was left of my 8th, managed to swallow it, and had my 9th ready. I was going to have to bite into for a clear victory. And I remember you just went like this. You were like, ah, and you're like, and you're so pissed off. You're gonna do it. You're gonna get my ass, and then all of a sudden you were trying to swallow, and you're going. And then you like just open your mouth and you let it all fall out. And then I was pretty much clear, and I didn't throw up, man. I just kicked your ass, and I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not going to do it again. I'm not going to have another contest like, well, maybe I will. But it can't be an hour long. That ruined my whole day. In fact, that's even how I remember that I didn't throw up, because I had a lot of studying to do. It was a Sunday, and we sure didn't do anything on Saturday. And I had to write something, and I was really bummed because I knew I was going to be sleepy. I was going to have that pizza coma hangover where I just wanted to sleep. So when I got back to my room, I did try to regurgitate it up, and to try to just kind of relieve some of that work that my body was going to have to do to digest that, and it wasn't coming up, man. I couldn't even try. So that, I don't know what was behind that, Scott. I don't know why you would put that, you'd publish that. It's wrong on so many levels, man. I mean, it makes you a sour loser or sore loser. It's kind of an attack on me personally, on my character, that I would do that. And I wouldn't get caught. How on earth could I have done it, man? If I would have gone to the bathroom, somebody would have gone in with me. So it's just, so on top of just being an attack of my character, on top of being a sore sport, it's not even well thought out, man. It's not even well thought out. And on top of not being true, it's just malicious. So Scott, you and I, we haven't seen each other in a long time, man. And I just want to know, why you would do that. So you can call me, you can text me, tweet me, you can send a carrier pigeon up here to Ohio, whatever you want to do, okay? So